Welcome to my messy desk area. Today's video is going to be another episode of starting my small business from home. So if you've watched other videos in this series already, then you already know the product I'm selling, which is charms that go on musical instruments. And you already know that my goal to open my shop is sometime this summer. Like before the end of this summer, I want my charms available for someone somewhere to purchase. So in today's video, we are going to be prepping and doing a lot of different tasks to get ready for my shop launch. And I have picked an official date. My shop is going to officially launch on August 31st, 2025. August 31st. So please mark your calendars if you are interested in seeing my shop launch or even purchasing one of my products. So in today's video, to prep for the shop launch, we are going to get my backing cards cut and ready to hold a charm. We are also going to attempt to find a place where we can sell our products. We are going to update our website, and we're even going to have a small business haul. I love a good haul. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. And remember, August 31st. Was that too much? August 31st. So if you saw my previous video in the Starting Your Small Business from Home series, then you know that I just got some backing cards made to hang my charms on when I'm displaying them. But they don't come with these slits pre-cut. So right now I'm gonna try to figure out a really efficient way to cut these by hand, like with scissors, but make it the same every time. So I'm not just like eyeballing it and then free cutting. But I think I'm gonna end up making some sort of stencil so that I can always cut in the same place and the same way every time, just so all the backing cards look really uniform. So I have a group of 8 different ukulele charms that I've made, and I'm gonna take the 8 of them downtown to an independent bookstore because there's a farmer's market downtown on Saturdays, and in front of the bookstore is not a part of the farmer's market, but it's really close to the farmer's market. And last time I was at the farmer's market, I saw an embroidery artist selling her work in front of the bookstore instead of doing the farmer's market, because you know that costs money. You have to pay like a booth fee, you have to have a booth, you have to have like enough inventory to fill up an entire booth, and she didn't have that, and I don't have that either. So I'm gonna sort of follow in her footsteps and go downtown and ask the bookstore if I can sell my charms in front of their store on Saturday when the farmer's market is going on. So that's sort of why I've chosen 8 different charms, so they can sort of like see a variety of what I make. I don't know if that's gonna make a difference to them whether or not they would let me sell my charms in front of their store, but just in case, I'm gonna bring 8 different kinds so they can just see a variety. So I just got home from the bookstore, and I guess the owner of the bookstore wasn't there. So one of the workers gave me a business card to contact her, and it has a phone number and an email address on it. So I'm not sure whether I should call her or email her, because on the one hand, I feel like an email can be really easily overlooked or ignored. And I think a phone call is still ignorable, but maybe less so. I'm not sure. But it is getting a little late into the evening, so I think I'm gonna wait until tomorrow to either call or email the owner and see what she says. But since I was already out, I did go to the store and pick up a couple things that I thought might be useful for my business. So we're gonna do a little mini haul, and I'm gonna show you the things that I just got. So first is a paper trimmer, and I'm hoping that this will help me cut off the bottom of my backing card really smoothly and perfectly, basically, because what I was doing earlier was just cutting off the bottom with the scissors, but turns out I'm not that great at straight lines. So I'm hoping this will help me out a little bit in that department. I also picked up a 1-hole punch. You probably saw earlier I was using this 3-hole punch and just sticking the backing card in and doing it that way, but I think I might be able to control it a little bit better if I have this handheld 1-hole punch, so picked that up as well. And also it was only like $3 anyway, so might as well. And the last thing I picked up is this 3-way corner punch. And what this does is it just gives you rounded corners. So these are pointed corners, 90-degree angle here. But this has 3 different punch settings for corners. I'm gonna use the 4mm for my corners, but so I'm gonna use the 4mm one for those corners, but there's also a 7mm option and a 10mm option. Let's test it out on one of my messed up ones. Ooh, I love this. Okay, that is so fun to use, and it also looks really, really good. Like perfect edges. There's no little wisps of paper sticking out. Ooh, I love that so much. I'm gonna go ahead and do that on these 8 finished ones that I made earlier today. Yes. Why do I feel like that looks more professional? What is it about rounded corners? It just gets me so much. It really, really gets me. Yes. satisfying. I'm gonna use one of my mess ups to show you what the 7mm option looks like. And I'll do a 10mm too, so you can see what all the different options look like. So here is the 4mm. Here's the 7mm. So a slight difference there. And then here's the 10mm. So super curved edges there. Here's the 7mm compared to the 10mm. So in preparation for my shop to launch, I also thought it was about time for me to update my website. So I'll show you first a little bit of a before on my website. So here's the home page. Got that electric blue that I really like, same as my backing cards. And if you scroll down, you can see some of my music education videos on my music education YouTube channel. If you click store, you'll see some t-shirts that I designed. There are 2 different designs, but I have them in a bunch of different colors. I don't really think this is necessary anymore, but I still think I'll keep the black one because I really like that one. If you click about, it just tells you a little bit about me. I'll need to change some of that because it does talk about my YouTube channel, which now I have 2, so I need to differentiate. One is my music ed channel and one is my personal channel. Then if you click blog, there is a place where I can eventually post blogs. I've only done one so far, which is the exact same as my about me. Then if you click free resources, I only have one thing on here right now. It's related to a video that I posted on my music ed channel. And then if you click my music, this is the core of my website. This is the whole reason why I bought the website and designed the website, is so I could put my original compositions and arrangements on the website. It also has tags, so if you click audio accompaniment, it takes you to only the audio accompaniment tracks. Same thing with piano, it'll take you to piano pieces. Same thing with elementary music, it will take you to all the music that is for elementary schoolers, and same with ukulele. And also on my main homepage, there's a place where you can go straight to my music. You can just press that button because that is the core of why I have this website. There's also a login thing here. I don't know what that's for, but that's there. And now let's look at the after. So here are the changes I made. First, you'll see I now have 2 buttons, one for music, one for shop. Shop is going to be for my charms. So that's brand new. Then if you scroll down, I added 3 extra featured videos. And I also changed this button. I have now added a link to my Instagram, a link to my personal YouTube channel, and a link to my music education YouTube channel as well. If we scroll back up and click on shop, I have updated the shop. Now it only has 3 t-shirts, and it also has pictures of some of the ukulele charms that I'll be selling very, very soon, but you can't actually purchase them on the website. So if you go to it, it only says coming soon. They're not available for purchase yet. I also have tags on my shop. So if you click apparel, it takes you only to the t-shirts. Same thing as my other shop where my music is, essentially. If you click about, I updated this a little bit, but most of it is the same. I did differentiate between my 2 YouTube channels and said something about my charms. If you click blog, again, it's the exact same as my about me. Free resources, I did add one, and that's a ukulele size chart, because to purchase one of my charms, it's really helpful if customers know what size ukulele they have, and not everybody realizes or knows what size they have. So I put this chart on here for people to easily figure it out. And you can also click it to download the PDF. So if you wanted this like for your classroom or personal use or whatever, you could download it and have it yourself. If you click music, it takes you to my music. Nothing changed here. I did not update anything here. And there's still a login. Don't know what that's for, but yeah. That is the new and improved website. Well, it's about 3 weeks later. So here's a little 3 week later update. As far as the bookstore, I did go down there in person and try to talk to someone in person about setting up a small table outside of the bookstore to sell on the same days as the farmers market. But the person who was in charge of that kept not being at the bookstore the days that I would go. And so eventually I did just email her, and it took her like 2 or 3 weeks to respond to me. So that's sort of the reason why I have no new updates. And I guess that's an example of why you shouldn't put all of your eggs in one basket, right? Because I was solely waiting on her to tell me yes before I started my business. Like, that was going to be the first step in actually having my charms available for purchase. And because that kept getting put off, the business opening kept getting put off. But eventually she did respond to me, and she said the other vendors that they have let set up a booth outside of the bookstore have not been selling well at all. So she was like, it's honestly not even in your best interest to set up a booth outside of the bookstore. So basically, I just wasted like 3 weeks of time because I put all my eggs in one basket. I kept waiting on her to tell me yes. And when yes didn't come, it was like, well, now I have nothing to show for the 3 weeks that I wasn't doing anything, basically. But anyway, I did want to give you that little update. My next game plan is, I didn't want to do this, but I think I'm just gonna open up the business first on Etsy. And you might be wondering, like, why would I do that if I already have my own website? The thing is, I don't have a lot of people who know about my charms, okay? And if people don't know about what I'm selling, obviously they're not gonna buy it. But I don't have a lot of people going to my website because I don't do marketing for my website. I also tried to start an Instagram, but I am not doing a great job at posting on there. And then I have this YouTube channel as well, but it's still like super, super small. I think I have 50 something subscribers right now. So the thing is, there just aren't enough people who know about my business yet. So I don't think I would get a single sale if I put my charms for sale on my website right now. But because Etsy has a search engine and can also recommend products to people who they think will like those products, then I think Etsy is going to be my best bet for now. But it is my end goal to have the charms solely available on my website. But yeah, that's sort of the business update. My next step is to have my products available on Etsy. But before we do that, because I still have some research that needs to be done before I can open things up on Etsy. So in the meantime, randomly I got a bonus from my job, and I'm a teacher, so it's like very unheard of to get bonuses, but every teacher in my county got a bonus. So half of the bonus I put into savings, and then the other half I let myself spend. And so most of the things I bought are for my small business, and then I bought a couple things for my apartment as well. But I thought we would open and unbox everything I got with my bonus money that is business related. So I love getting packages so much. And I don't really online shop very much either, so it's so exciting when I do get packages. But yeah, let's go ahead and open up these boxes, and I'll tell you and show you everything that I ended up getting. Okay, first things first, I think this is a 50 count of bubble mailers, so that when I do ship out my charms, I have something to ship them out in. I've done a lot of research about shipping so far because I know literally nothing about shipping, but to my understanding, right, here's my charm. It's not completely flat. It's not a paper product or like an art print or something like that. So to my understanding, if you have something that's completely flat and it fits in an envelope, you can just ship it to people in an envelope. But since this isn't flat, I think you're supposed to put it in some sort of bubble mailer. Obviously, the charm is way smaller than the mailer, but this is sort of the smallest bubble mailer size I could find. So this is sort of what I'm going with for now. I'm sure I'll change a lot of this as time goes on, but I'd also like to eventually print out like a thank you card type situation, and that might be like postcard size, so that might take up a little bit more room in the bubble mailer. I don't know, it just feels so awkward having this huge mailer for this tiny charm. So yeah, that's the plan with the bubble mailers. Well, the sun came out. Is this really distracting, or can I still film here? Okay, I closed the blinds, so hopefully that's at least a little bit better. I'm so bad at opening things. I opened this in the worst way possible, but we'll ignore that. Okay, really excited about this, so please don't fail me. Okay, so I'm really excited about this one. I had already picked out the bubble mailers I wanted, and I wanted something else to go on it to like remind people where they got it from, and like right when they get it in the mail, they can see what it is just by the packaging. But I didn't have stickers or anything, and I didn't want to design stickers, so I got a custom stamp. It's from Vistaprint, and the bubble mailers are from Amazon, by the way. I will link everything that I got down below if you're interested in purchasing something from this video. Let's test it out on this cardboard box first, just in case I don't like it. I don't want to ruin a mailer, but... So what I put on the stamp is basically the same thing as the bottom of my backing card. It just says in tiny letters, "Made with love," and then in bigger letters, "Michaela Cordy Music." So it did not take me long at all to design the stamp because the design is from something I had already made previously. But yeah, let's see what it looks like. Oh, that didn't work. I'll support it from the bottom this time. It's not really coming out very good yet. I think it needs more ink on it, but I don't know how to give it more ink. It's not working. Okay, so I messed around with this custom stamp and I think I've got it working now, so let's test it. Yeah. There it is. Boom. You can see where I was testing it out on this box. I don't know what was wrong with it. Maybe I just wasn't pressing it down hard enough, but it wasn't, I mean, you can see like the full design wasn't coming out. Also, here's the state of my hands after messing with that stamp for so long. Here's my other hand, not that bad. Okay, I got a light that is supposed to be able to hook onto your phone. I don't really have the best lighting in my apartment. You might have noticed that before if you have watched some of my videos before. So I got a little light off Amazon, and hopefully it makes the lighting better. I think I'm gonna have to charge it first, so I can't even show it to you right now. So yeah, it's got this clip here so it can clip onto your phone. Okay, I think it just slides right in here. Perfect. And then it clips onto your phone. Now, what is this? There it is. I don't really think I need this light right now because the sun is out, and I feel like this is better for when the camera is closer to you. And I'm kind of far away from my phone camera right now, so we'll see here in the future if this actually ends up being useful for me. Okay. Okay. Now, in the same vein as shipping, which I was talking about earlier, when I was doing shipping research, I learned, if you know anything about shipping, this is so obvious, like everyone should know this, but I didn't really. I guess to some extent I did know this, but when you ship bigger products or heavier products, it costs more money to ship. I think I knew that, but I didn't fully realize the extent of it. But like even the weight of a gram can make a difference in how much your shipping costs. So I got this digital scale. It came with a little tape measure. That's weird, but okay. So I got this scale so that I could, once I pack my charms, I can see how much it weighs, and that way I can make sure I'm paying the right price in shipping. Because if you do not pay enough, they will not ship your product. And if you pay too much, then obviously you're losing money. So I got this digital scale off Amazon. Oops. Very nice. Came with 2 batteries. It's already on. Yeah, so we've got ounces, we've got grams, we've got kilograms, and we've got pounds and ounces. So I would probably be using the grams option. Let's see how many grams this is. I tried to get one that was kind of big because they have food scales that are pretty small, but I knew that the mailer would be bigger than those, so I tried to get one with a bigger like face on it. But yeah, I'll link that below too. They sent me 2. Did I accidentally buy 2 of those, or did they accidentally send me 2 of these? Well, that's a problem for future Michaela. Let me show you this in a sec. I'm gonna open something else first so that it makes more sense. I got a Munbin label printer. This is the 403B accessories box. Wow, that's fancy. Yeah, basically just cords in the accessories box. Oh, it's so tiny and cute. So basically, instead of handwriting labels, I've seen a lot of small business owners on YouTube using label printers, and I thought that's something I won't get for a long time because that's sort of like a luxury in my opinion. But then I got this bonus from my job and had money to spend, so I was like, I might as well splurge a little bit. So yeah, here is the Munbin 403B label printer. Well, this is something I learned, which again is maybe obvious to everybody else, but it was news to me. Basically, a label acts in the place of a stamp because you have to purchase the label and you have to input the weight of your package so that when you purchase your label, you're paying the right price, to my understanding. I also got a label holder. So this holds all the labels up for you so that the labels can go directly into the printer without you having to like feed it in there or get it jammed or something. Again, this is like not really necessary. It's kind of a luxury to get that, but it's super cheap. I'm gonna put that together later. I might be doing a really bad job at this unboxing. I'm basically opening everything and not showing you how it works. But it would take forever to me to set all of this stuff up. Like to set up the label printer and to build everything, it would just take forever. Oh, okay. Okay. Next thing I got is a 3-pack of 1-hole punches, and they all punch a different size. The reason I got this is because I wanted an extra tiny hole punch. I think this is the tiny one. Yeah, so all 3 of them are different sizes. You've got one that's like a normal hole punch size, one that is smaller than that, and then one that's really tiny. So I'll show you. So here's the normal hole punch size. Here's the one that's smaller than that. And then here's like a super, super tiny one. The reason I got this is because on my backing cards, I cut the slits here that the chain hangs on by hand, just with scissors. And the slit that I cut is too small for the chain to be like loose on it. So I thought I would put a little tiny hole right where it's supposed to go. I might actually have to use the next size up. I thought I would need the tiniest size, but... Okay, so I put 2 holes in there. This is not the tiny size, this is the medium size. Okay, I'm gonna have to retape this, but I do think this is better. I don't know, I'm gonna have to mess around with that, but yeah, basically that's the reason why I got this set of 3. The last thing that I got, I'm not gonna unbox because I know it's gonna be a headache to put together, but I will show you what it is at least. It's a printer, and I think it's a nice one too. I know it's gonna take me forever to unbox this and put it together, so I'm not even gonna try to do that right now. Hopefully you understand. But yeah, I do have a printer, but it was like $30 and it's like 10 years old. I'm not kidding when I say $30. Like, I mean, it was actually 30-something dollars when I bought it. I got it like 10 years ago, I think, and it goes through ink crazy fast. And I think just like when it comes to having a small business, it's gonna be extremely useful for me to be able to print stuff at home easily and not have to replace ink after every like 20 pages. But yeah, that's a few of the things I got for my business with the bonus that I got from work, and I'm really excited to get everything put together at some point, but not right now. All right, I'm really hungry, so I'm gonna go eat now, and I'll catch back up with you later. August 31st.